All right, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond. My name is Larry Kruger, and it is my honor to serve on your board of directors. For those of you who are new to us, and members and friends who are tuning in from near and far, welcome. We are so grateful to be able to connect with you. We are a community of many faith journeys and beliefs, committed to being deliberately diverse and fully inclusive. We want you to know that whoever you are, you belong here. We are a community that is resilient and is committed to healing, does the work that needs to be done, and commits to maintaining and establishing our relationships. So let us continue to stand together on this side of love. For more information, please visit our website at richmonduu.org. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to view past services, and log into services 5 to 10 minutes early to catch the preceding announcements. We also invite you to join us for coffee prior to services, sometimes in the courtyard, sometimes inside, so you just see how we're doing it that day. So thank you for being with us today. May this be a comforting, centering, and restorative moment for you. And the special message today, as many of you have seen who are here in person, and then for those of you who are watching live at home on YouTube, you're cordially invited today to attend our first UU Activities Fair, which will be going on today from noon to 1 p.m. And immediately following service, you could head out to the tables and take a look if you haven't already done that. The Activity Fair is a place for you to browse and sign up for special groups and volunteer opportunities to tap into your first UU community for the coming year. With a wide variety of options, and with our theme for September being belonging, the Activity Fair is a great way to find out where you belong here at First UU. So we hope you'll join us after the service. And now you will hear a brief update from Diane Hyra from our Ministerial Search Committee. Thank you, Diane.
I guess we have the long and short of the congregation here. Good morning. My name is Diane Hyra, and I'm wearing a couple hats today. My first hat is as a member of the Ministerial Search Committee. The congregational survey concludes today. Thank you to everyone who has already responded. If you've been meaning to complete the survey but haven't squeezed it into your schedule yet, today is the day. It takes about 20 minutes, and there's a link to the survey. It's a bit.ly link, and you'll see it. It might be, well, yes, there it is. It's up there on the screen, and it'll be in the email that gets sent out this afternoon. The next phase of our process begins with Imagining Our Future, a visioning kickoff session this afternoon from 1 to 4. We have participants who have already registered, and if any of those participants are here, lunch is at 12:30 downstairs. The visioning process will continue throughout October with the visioning component of each listening session and focus group that the MSC facilitates. So if you did not register for today's kickoff, we hope to see you at one of the sessions in October. You can find the schedule and sign up link for listening sessions in the MSC update emails, which are sent on Sundays. Thank you also for the questions you've been asking. We've compiled a frequently asked question list, which will be linked in our Sunday updates from this point forward. We will also have paper copies of the FAQs at the table in the lobby. And if you have any additional questions, please email us at msc@richmonduu.org.
Good morning. It's so good to see all you all here this morning. What a very exciting day. There's a lot of energy in the place. Hope you all feel the energy. After 2.5 years, so good to see all you here today. You can give yourself a hand for that one too. I am the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan, Jr. You can ask me what the Z stands for afterwards. And I welcome all of you joining us here this morning in the Great Hall and those of you who are joining us virtually. We know you have many choices to spend your Sunday mornings, and we're so glad you decided to drop in and spend some time with us today. And this is your first, second, third, or maybe 100 times visiting us. If you've been here over 100 times, I want to know why you hadn't joined yet. But we welcome you because this community is what it is because of your presence. So welcome, and thank you for being with us this morning. This morning, our worship service will be led by Assistant Minister Lauren Leftwood. And joining Lauren this morning are members from the Dogwood Spirit Circle and the First UU Earth Care Initiative, as this service honors the autumn equinox and the pagan Sabbath of Mavan. So let it be within all of us as we prepare for the autumns and the cycle of our own life cycle, for we need rest and respite if we are to understand and appreciate the rhythm of our life and the soul that enables us to worship with thanks. Now I invite you to please stand if you are willing to greet your neighbors. You all set back down too quickly. I'm going to ask you to stand up again for our opening hymn. Where do we come from?
to see so many people here. Wow, I just feel so great. Hi, everyone. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Lauren Levewood, and I am so dearly blessed to be your assistant, one of your assistant ministers here at First UU. So welcome again to this time and place where we are gathering while the earth is changing her clothes all around us, letting her leaves begin to fall and offering up the end of her summer harvest. It's so nice to be together celebrating the pagan Sabbath of Mabon, otherwise known as the autumn equinox, which will officially happen on Thursday at 9:09 p.m., but it's not an exact thing. It's a process, it's a transition, so we're in that transitional window right now. I just want to lift up before our service that earlier this summer, the now legendary pagan elder of our First UU community, Micheline Vogt, passed away from a journey with breast cancer as she was planning today's service with me. So I had the opportunity to visit with her in the days before she passed, and I promised her the show would go on, and I'm so glad, and I know she would be so happy to have everyone here gathered together to celebrate and honor what was close to her heart, her pagan path, together as a community. She was an educator, and she really loved sharing about paganism with others. And I also want to thank the Dogwood Spirit Circle who are here, the Dogwood Spirit Circle members who are here to make that happen today. We have quite a few members of our worship service today, and it's so great that we're all together. So our opening words come from Andrea Hawkins Camper. Take a breath with me. Gather we now into this space, into this time when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. Gather we now to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvests long before the dark comes. Gather we now to tell the old stories and sing the old songs, to be as we have always been, the voice of our people eternal. Gather we now to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gather we now, as we have always done, united by story and bound by love.
Our chalice lighting is called The Balance We Seek by Sharon Wiley. The hours of day and night are in balance. In honor of earth-centered traditions that celebrate this time of year, we observe that the flaming chalice holds the elements of the four directions: earth, air, fire, water. The lamp oil for earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire we light, and the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We light our chalice and reflect on the balance we seek in our lives, the balance we seek in our hearts, the balance we seek in our world.
So we are going to begin by calling to the directions, or otherwise known as the quarters, for the four cardinal directions. In pagan rituals, we often begin by casting a circle to create a sacred space and to welcome all beings within it. And at the end of our ritual time together today, we are going to do a similar process to close the sacred space and open the circle. And members of this community have already been here this morning cleansing the space and creating a container for us that feels really held. So now we invite you to participate along with us. So in a moment, we're going to cast the circle by calling the different directions. I want to just orient you to where the cardinal directions are within this great hall. It is super easy in here, really, because we actually tend to start with east, and east is that way, literally front. And then we turn a quarter, which is why it's called calling the quarters. So we're going to turn a quarter to the south, which is towards the Carillon and our memorial garden. And then we're going to turn a quarter and face back to the west, which is our parking lot. And then we're going to turn a quarter to the north, which is our courtyard here. And then I will say what we call spirit or center. So you don't need to remember any of that. You can just follow along. You're going to be led by the pagan community, but I wanted to invite you to stand. So go ahead and stand. And one more note before we begin the quarter calling, which is that at the end, each one member of our Dogwood Spirit Circle is going to say some words for each direction. At the end of that, they will say, "Hail and welcome," and then we will respond, "So mote it be." So let's try that. Hail and welcome, so mote it be. Great.
We call upon the spirits of the east, power of air. We invoke you and call you, send forth your fall winds, so that we may free our minds of the past and breathe new life as we reap the harvest of the spring's plantings of self-awareness. Hail and welcome, so mote it be.
Call on the spirits of the south, power of fire. We invoke you and call you, send your flames of warmth and purification, so that we may learn to trust and love ourselves. All we learn the true passions of life. All hail and welcome.
So mote it be.
We call upon the spirits of the west, powers of water. We invoke you and send forth your flow of inner knowledge, so that we may reap and grow from our emotions and journeys into our dreams, and learn to cleanse and heal from what we have sown this past year. Hail and welcome.
So mote it be.
We call upon the spirits of the north, power of earth, cornerstone of all power. We invoke you and call you by the earth that is the body, to teach us wisdom, sacred knowledge, and ceremony, so that we may be balanced and strong. Ground us with your ever-loving strength. Hail and welcome.
So mote it be.
We call upon the spirits of spirit. We invoke you and call you by the celestial form, which spirit is the bridge between body and soul. May we learn empathy, understanding, and love. Hail and welcome. So mote it be. Thank you. You may be seated. Actually, sorry. I don't know, somebody wanted us to get exercise today. It's not my fault. We are going to have a congregational chant now. So if you're willing and able, you may rise in body or in spirit to chant Earth My Body.
Known as the pagan Thanksgiving, Mabon marks the autumnal equinox, when day and night are equal, making it a time of balance, equality, and harmony. In ancient times, Mabon was a celebration of the second harvest, when farmers gathered hearty foods like gourds, pumpkins, grapes, and apples. Modern Mabon celebrations are a time to give thanks for the abundance of Mother Earth, both literally and spiritually. It's also a good time to reflect on the wheel of the year, recognizing your successes and letting go of the things that did not serve you during the past 12 months. As the wheel of the year comes to an end, Mabon is a good time to set intentions that involve decrease and reduction, such as ending bad relationships, unhealthy habits, or self-destructive beliefs.
So now we've come to our time of meditation, and this fall equinox meditation was written by Lori Gorgas Laban. I invite you to close your eyes and let the words wash over you if that feels inviting. Pause. Balanced in the center between the longest and shortest days. Equinox. The wheel of the year turns and turns again. The air cools, days shorten. The sun seems to weaken, barely clearing the horizon after rising before beginning its descent. This is our opportunity now to pause, balanced, breathing in, breathing out, knowing this present moment. This present moment is all we're guaranteed. Like the sun moving toward the shortest day, each moment arises and is gone before we know it. This is the time to pause and consider as we enter the season of contemplation, of increasing darkness, of lying fallow, of dormancy. This is the season of letting go, of lightening burdens, of preparing for a long period of being still, going deep. Pause and consider. Binaries, dark and light, hot and cold, chaos and order. Neither extreme is inherently good or bad. It's all a matter of balance, of honoring the spectrum for which binaries mark the endpoints. Today we mark the midpoint between summer and winter solstice, a time to seek balance and be free. I invite you to reflect on these things now during a moment of silent meditation. Now, will you join me in the spirit of prayer? God of the autumn, help us to live with the grace of falling leaves, the enthusiasm of the flaming aspens, with the serenity of the old trees whose roots deeply reach into the earth. God of the autumn, help us to know that living and dying are one, that life is precious and beautiful and limited, that nothing good is ever truly lost. God of the autumn, help us to see in the ways of nature a way for ourselves, in right alignment that honors the sacredness of all things, which we are but a part. Amen.
Hi, I'm Joel Blum, and I'm here to talk on behalf of Communities in Schools, which is the recipient of the Share the Plate this month. CIS is what we call it. Last week, Catalina Valdez, who is the local site coordinator at the Cardinal School, was here, so you had a chance to see her, get to know her a little bit. And the funds that we do collect will go to her to be used at Cardinal School for the needs that come up there. It's a very exciting time for us. It feels like we've been out in the desert for 2.5 years, and we're about to get back. We're about to start being a presence. Actually, we have started being a presence at Cardinal this year. But we've done so much over the years, whether it's mentors, readers, collecting books, providing supplies, distributing food for the weekends for the kids in need. Many of us have been involved in that, and I can tell you that without the help of the CIS coordinator, who is the coordinator of community volunteers, that's a major part of her position, we wouldn't have been able to do these things. So this is a crucial position. Now, several weeks ago, a number of us had the privilege of being at Cardinal the first day of school. Quite a scene. They have 800 kids. Many of them were accompanied by their parents that day, by their families. I shouldn't just say their families, but there were other siblings who came along. What a range of kids. You know, this is a school that has been almost entirely Hispanic. There's been huge language challenges. It's a mixture now, still primarily Hispanic, with others as well, but vast majority are challenged in terms of their economic situation. It's the largest of the elementary schools in the city, 800 now. It'll grow to be more than 900 by the time the year is well along. So tremendous challenges at this school. There's 7 or 8 kindergartens. So these are kids who are just going for the first time. Imagine that, the needs will be there for supplies that happen to kids in kindergarten going away to the school for the first time. Any of you have had experience with that? I don't know. So the funds will be greatly appreciated. Whatever we can give, the generosity will be appreciated. So hopefully we will provide. Thank you.
So for those of you who've been coming back in person, you know that the offering baskets are going to go around. If it's your first time back in a while, I'm sure you'll get the hang of that again. And then the other ways to give, whether you're in person or online, will be on the screen. We have phone and online options available.
Our next reading is May You Never Thirst by Erica Barron. May you never thirst. May your body and spirit always have what they need. When you are in need of refreshment or new life, may the waters be available to you. May you never know thirst unto death in your body or in your soul. May you never thirst. And may your body and your spirit always thirst enough to stay alive. May you know the dissatisfaction of things as they are that leads to work for justice. May you know the thirst for new knowledge that leads to the quest for truth. May you know the desire for deeper connection that creates new and stronger relationships. May you know the spiritual thirst that keeps the soul searching and gives the sweetness of new discovery to faithful followers of spiritual paths of all kinds. May you never thirst too deeply, but may your thirst never be entirely quenched.
Thank you, Anne Marie. I want to give another acknowledgement to Micheline because in the past few months, Micheline was decided that she wanted to kind of make her presence known with Anne Marie and the Earth Care Initiative. Also would love to make a shout out to Anne Marie and those who are putting more energy into our Earth Care Initiative these days. And probably if Micheline hadn't done that, I might not have made the obvious connection to ask the Earth Care Initiative to also contribute a moment in this service, even though I was planning on speaking about belonging to Earth. Funnily enough. But Micheline pointed out the obvious, that there's a natural partnership between an earth-based spiritual practice group and the Earth Care Initiative. So I'm sure that she is somewhere, wherever, very thrilled that we're weaving together this ritual today. So I'm going to start with a story. Earlier this summer in June, when people kind of thought I had the month off, I was doing a few other things. And one of the things that I did was lead a ritual at the Richmond Rally for Appalachia's Future, which was a gathering of environmental justice advocates from Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and beyond. And these people were a small and mighty bunch, y'all. They had actually, in the 13 days leading up to the rally, many of the participants had walked for hundreds of miles on foot throughout these 3 states of Virginia, West Virginia, and Tennessee, and eventually convening here in Richmond for a culminating protest against the Mountain Valley Pipeline, or MVP. The protesters called for the cancellation of the destructive MVP and Southgate extension projects, which pose profound dangers to living creatures, communities such as human beings and other animals and life, water, soil, and air, which sustains life. So we all met by the Canal Walk murals that morning. It was a diverse bunch of earth-loving folk gathered for a common cause. There were a lot of big-name speakers, such as Bill McKibben, piping in. And after this beginning of information sharing and hearing from a number of public speakers, we actually gathered together for an earth-based ritual to consecrate the soil, which was why I was there as a minister. So we gathered round for a common cause, connected by a knowing that belonging to the earth matters for all of us. So as I said, our opening ceremony included a blessing of the soil. Now, this soil that was there, that was present, had been gathered by many hands, many different people, some present and some not, along the 303-mile length of the MVP project. And there was an orange bucket filled with bags and wrappings of all of this soil that had been collected along the way. So imagine a bucket of earth that was presented filled with plastic bags full of moist red clay and aluminum foil that had brown, dusty earth inside, or was wrapped around orange brick that was made of the earth, dark, rich dirt. And all these different colors mingled together in a rainbow spectrum of earthen hues, displaying the diversity of life, the diversity that earth is under the soil, and just this incredible matter that actually helps life to flourish from literally the ground up. It was kind of cool. It was a small sample there as well of the diversity of courageous people around the world who all want to advocate and protect the earth. So as I said, my role as minister was to lead the community in consecrating this soil. That's what I was invited there to do. And let me pause and tell you before I tell you the next part, that it was a beautiful ceremony. I so enjoyed it. We circled round, we did liturgical, almost labyrinth kind of thing, walking in a circle, gathering the soil, blessing it and putting it into the center on this cloth, and it was wonderful. We chanted while we did it. It was really wonderful. And for me, literally filling our hands with dirt and blessing it and in a ritual-like way, I can't really think of a better time, personally. There's not much that's more holy to me than maybe holding a baby, but this was my jam. And yet, you might blame it on the fact that I'm you. Y'all know we love to question things. At the request to consecrate the soil, I took pause. It hit me really deep that it felt off. I took pause because an inner voice asked, do we consecrate Earth? Or does Earth consecrate us? Is it we? Is it me who blesses Earth? Or does Earth bless me and us every day? Is there anything I can actually do to make Earth more holy? Consecrate, to make or declare sacred. Bless, to hallow or make holy. It was not aligning in my you sensitivities. So, while it's a lovely thing to declare something as sacred, and as I said, the ritual was just beautiful, I really felt I needed to tell the group there, and I did, that the earth doesn't need us to make her so. She already is. In fact, the earth blesses us each and every day. The earth nourishes us. Without earth, we would not be alive. And in fact, that's really a false sense of separation. We are earth. We are part of earth, just like the trees and flowers and animals and water and soil and air. We all make up earth. And as humans, the rest of the earth system supports us and brings our lives into being over and over again. So while we did bless and consecrate the soil that day, and as I said we did, I had a moment first with the people, and I let them know the thoughts that I've shared with you, and I invited us into gratitude and what I felt like was the true blessing that the earth needed from us, which was a promise to be in right relationship with her. And we did that symbolically and physically by whispering our promises and our commitments to the soil that was in our hands that day. See, the soil had blessed us each and every day just by being, and we needed to turn again and return towards, as a collective, what we could do each and every day to become a blessing for it. So we're going to do a little ritual for Mabon today, and we're going to lean into the balance. We're going to lean into our inherent connectedness with Earth and feel the ways that Earth blesses us, and feel the ways that we can actually be a blessing, because we can be that too. The seasons are changing, and we're dipping down soon. Can you feel fall coming? It's kind of on the edges of the periphery, getting closer more and more each day. We're dipping down soon into the dark time of the year, and this is a really important time, actually, to acknowledge that the darkness is going to be growing. There's a lot of times a really big focus on the solstices, that expanded moment, and that moment where we have the longest night that we'll get to, as we know, in December. But this moment when the darkness is growing, let's notice it. Let's notice it as it comes before it starts to depart. This is an important time too. And this is a really cool time, I think, because it's a period of fullness and emptiness. It's that betwixt and between time of days and nights that are kind of neck and neck in length, and harvests that fill our bellies as the end of the summer nears, of trees still dressed up in an abundance of leaves, but preparing to shed them for a winter frock of bare branches and snow. In an article from the New York Times that I read yesterday, the writer wrote that this betwixt and between period, when the light is lowering, but you can still get tomatoes and peaches at the market, right? And still get away with short sleeves sometimes. This is a time that we partake in the dregs of summer rituals. The last BLTs, the last beach days, while in the same moment we start to observe the rites of fall. So this is an invitation to feel that betwixt and between time that we're in the transition of. So we're going to, while we enjoy those final summer melons, along with the apple cider donuts and the pumpkin spice lattes that are like sprouting up like weeds, y'all. It's everywhere. I'd like to invite us to remember our connection to Earth as part of Earth during this seasonal phase. So many earth-based religions mark this time of year with rituals that kind of seem like a both and. Earlier this week, I was talking with a Daytimers group, and you all get a taste of this in a couple of weeks during our Yom Kippur worship service, but we were talking about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which are part of the Jewish high holidays season and the New Year, about this really interesting thing. It's like a celebratory, festive harvest celebration, and it's a time where you shuck off all of the things from the past year and shed yourself. And that makes sense because we are a reflection of Earth. We're kind of going down and shucking things off to go internal, and we're receiving from Earth all that Earth is giving. So it's a both and. It's a rising and falling, a giving and taking, and a dance of opposites that allows us to appreciate light and dark, sun and moon in nearly equal lengths in the sky. So as our reading said this morning that Anne-Marie shared with us, may we never thirst too deeply, but may our thirst never be entirely quenched. May we feel the balance of those two things. May we know the spiritual thirst that keeps our souls searching, while our bodies and spirits also receive what we need. And may we feel that dance in relationship with the earth as we receive what we can from her and give what we can in return. May we remember that the earth, that our earth, that earth is holy and does not need us to make her so. And may we remember that there are choices that we can make each day to consecrate our lives in Earth's care. And in so doing, both we and she can be blessed and for a blessing. Ashe, amen, and blessed be. This concludes our time of sermonizing, and we're going to move into a ritual space. We just have a little tidbit of a light ritual for everyone to enjoy together today. This is a reverse offering, if you will, of receiving Earth's offerings, and this is just a time for you to receive. My mind is going to the word memento, but I want to use something different. A symbolic gift that represents all that Earth does offer us. So members of the Dogwood Spirit Circle are going to come forward and take these baskets, and you can do that now. And they're going to be passed around. We've collected interesting things that the Earth has been shedding. There may be some cicada shells or dogwood berries or flowers or pine cones or beautiful pieces of bark. And I invite you to just take something that looks interesting to you and take a moment to breathe with that as you bring to mind all that Earth shares with you, all that you have received over the course of your life, all that is coming in the future harvest, as well as your relationship and our partnership with Earth, that we're always letting go of things all the time and becoming new again all the time, just as Earth does. We always have the opportunity to let go of habits that don't serve us and begin again in love. Every turning day, every season, just as Earth changes every day, every season. So if you didn't get something, then you just need to go look under the trees outside. Guess we had a few more people here than we knew we were going to have. Sorry about that. So now our choir will be providing a special piece of music for us.
If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on. If we want hope to survive
pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on, pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to walk on, walk on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to walk on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to work on, walk on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to work on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to move on, move on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to move on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to march on, march on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to march on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to teach on, teach on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to teach on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to sing on, sing on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to sing on.
Yes, thank you, choir. So before I give our final benediction, I want to remind folks it's a big day at church, right? I can't remember if it was said at the beginning, so I'm going to remind folks again that if you're staying for the MSC meeting, then your lunches are downstairs. You might want those because you might want to be nourished while you observe all that the church has to offer in our hallway out here for the activities fair for the next hour. And I also want to encourage people. I know there's like a lot of treats and things that way, and that's like a yummy area, but come on down here, folks. Come to these tables too, this way, out this door. You could even like go out that door as you leave today if you wanted to, mix it up, because we have some tables at this end too. So our benediction is called The Growing Darkness. This is a reading by Reverend Viola Abbott, who is actually now a minister near us in Virginia Beach. As we move deeper into the season, there are some things we know. Fall brings a growing darkness that we cannot escape. The nights become cooler and take on winter's chill. The leaves on the trees and blades of grass try on new suits of yellow, orange, red, and brown. Life around us slowly retreats and goes to sleep. In the rest before renewal, the earth will remain waiting, waiting, waiting for the time that they are returned to us, the warmth and the light. May you move into the coming season of autumn, embracing the both and, the betwixt and between. May you always cherish beauty. May you endeavor to look for the blessings in life and use your life as a blessing in return. And now I'd like to invite us all to rise again as we're willing and able, as our Dogwood Spirit Circle comes forward to guide us in releasing the quarters. So this is going to be a counterclockwise reversal. We're going to start standing here, and I'm going to release spirit, and then you can turn towards the courtyard for the dismissal of north, and we're going to go this way this time, okay? Bringer of faith, keeper of spirit, who teaches us true love of faith above and below, and within and without all that is the universe, who hears the soul's calling to understand and to learn. We thank you for guarding our sacred right. We bid you hail and farewell. So mote it be.
Bringer of strength and courage, keeping us grounded and being our own, we thank you for guarding our sacred right. We bid you hail and farewell.
So may it be.
Bringer of the unconscious mind, western waters, of pulsing streams and our dreams, we thank you for guarding our sacred right. We bid you hail and farewell.
So mote it be.
Bringer of passion, southern fires, keeping the flames of promise alive. We thank you for guarding our sacred right. We bid you hail and farewell.
So may it be. Bringer of knowledge, eastern winds, the winds of our inspiration. We thank you for guarding our sacred right. We bid you hail and farewell. So may it be. The circle is open. Merry meet, and merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.
Blessed be. And if you'll remain standing, we are going to close with the chant, "May the circle be open."